Hi everyone, it's Thursday. It's Dede again, back on our collab channel. This week we're talking about our identity and how technology has influenced or shaped our identity. And I think I've said before, don't consider myself much of a consumer of technology. And so I thought, what does it have to do with my identity? But the more I think about it, oh yeah, technology has had a lot to do to shape my identity. Maybe not how I see myself, but definitely how others see me. So that's what I want to talk about a little bit today. Um, you know, I'm not much of a user, especially of YouTube. Over the past years, somebody shows me a YouTube clip, oh, I'm interested in looking, but I've never actually, I don't think ever, gone on and looked for certain things and found it helpful or entertaining. Just haven't made time for it in my life or seen the need to make time for it. But this class is quickly changing that. Within the last week, I've actually created and uploaded 2 videos on YouTube, so we're off to a good start here. But technology has really had the greatest effect on my professional life, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I'm an advisor in the Business Career Services Office. I work with students, with people who are looking for jobs and connecting those students to other people who are recruiters who can hire them for jobs to get their post-college career off to a strong start. So in my job, I liked the job. I took the job because I like to work with people, and I never dreamed how much influence technology would have on all of that. In fact, as you're watching this video, I've actually been in my job for all of 10 years and 1 day. And it's changed a lot. So when I first started the job, if a student had a question, they'd come in and ask me. We'd have a conversation about it. They'd get some ideas what they would do next to proceed in their career search, go do that, and next time they had a question, they'd come back, and so on. But now, if they have a question, it's a whole different story. But Rob's post mentioned that, you are what you repeatedly do. And it's a small part of my job currently, but one of the things I do as a part of my routine is I compose and disseminate an electronic newsletter. It goes out to students, undergrad students in the College of Business at the end of every week. It goes to about 2,500 students. Now the metrics tell me that although about 2,500 students get that newsletter, maybe 700 or 800 read it, depending what the week is. And who knows if they're the same 700 or 800 that read it every week, or if it really is, spread out over a few weeks, everybody reads it once in a while. Really don't know. But the point is that I don't know those 2,500 students. Most of them probably don't even know me. Maybe of those 700 students who actually read it, some of them do come see me. So I've not had the opportunity to meet a lot of them, and I've become in the habit the last few years, every time I do a presentation or meet with students individually, I remind them that, hey, I'm the one that sends the newsletter. It comes out every week, has some pretty timely information, what's coming up next week, what you should be doing in your career search in general. You wouldn't believe the reaction I get from students. It's like, oh, so you're DJ Brown that's in my inbox. I'm like, yep, I'm DJ Brown in your inbox. So that's become my identity. I'm the one who fills students' email boxes with unsolicited newsletters. But that's just one part of it. A greater influence technology has had on my professional career is how I spend my days. I could go into a long discussion on this topic, but I decided I would focus more on the communication aspect and how technology has helped that in many ways, but also just changed it. Not better, not worse, just different. The new normal, so to speak. So gone are the days when students would come in and talk about their question, as I said, and it seems like they rarely call now also. Maybe that has to do with something with our new unified communication system, which in my opinion has made me less accessible by telephone. But now I guess if students are looking for information, hopefully they're going to our website. It's got great resources on it, frequently asked questions, and it could be that the students get good information there, so they just don't have as much need to contact with individual questions. But every student comes to a point where they have a unique situation that they need an answer to. And what do? They'll send an email. It'll come maybe through a little message on the website. There's a contact us box. On our online career management system, there's a contact BCS box, or maybe they reply to the actual email, that newsletter that gets sent out every week, because that's what's in their inbox, so they just shoot back a reply. The question will be very short. And as I read the question, I realize, oh, that I don't have nearly enough information to answer this. So what do? I end up calling back the student or getting in contact with them somehow. When I call on the telephone, I'm really surprised. Students answer the phone and they're really, really happy to talk to someone about their issue. So it comes back to me, well, why, if you wanted to talk to somebody, didn't you call or come in and talk to someone to start with? But almost always the question starts with them shooting, or that student shooting me an email. But then because I want to make sure I understand the situation fully, and I want to make sure that we have a back and forth conversation, because the more information I have, it might change the answer or the advice or the suggestions I would give the student. So what starts as high tech often becomes quite a low tech answer, or hopefully even no tech. If I could get the student to stop by the office, we could talk about it. It just seems so much more efficient. If I tried to answer that question by email, believe me, it would be a couple hours later, back and forth and back and forth. Whereas if the student will come in or we can have a phone conversation, it's often 3 or 4 minutes and it's done, and I can get on to the next situation. So from this one small example, I hope that you can see the many ways that technology has made me more accessible and available to students, and hopefully more helpful. But in other ways, because of who I am, my generation, my concern for more thorough dialogue, technology in some ways seems like it's in the way, and I try to go to no tech to solve the problem. So I hope that's helpful, insightful. I look forward to hearing everybody else's posts, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. Bye for now.